do you say?
Um, Permit me to say this. I have issued a press release which addresses the comments made by the Commissioner of Police. I think it is most unfortunate that the Commissioner of Police would publicly seek to ridicule the statement of a citizen who is brave enough to come forward to give his version of what took place, and particularly where the Commissioner of Police has not had the benefit of interviewing that person. Now, Mr. Light was accompanied by me, and we both went to the crime chief on Monday afternoon after the press conference. The crime chief attempted to contact his senior officer who would have taken a statement from Mr. Light. That senior officer was not available at that time, so we left and agreed to return the following day at lunch. In the intervening period, Mr. Light's family, including his grandmother, mother, sister, etc., became extremely paranoid about his safety and told me in no uncertain terms that he will not be going to the Ghana Police Force. I went to their home, I spoke to his grandmother, I spoke to his sister, and they said, I cannot protect him, from the Guyana Police Force. The reason I went to do that was just to try and tell him his fears were exaggerated. He said no, he was not going to go. He did not go to work on Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday morning, I myself personally went to the Softball Association. I spoke to a man who said he was the supervisor. He said Mr. Light was there on the day, but he said that Mr. Light was not in the room. I subsequently learned that that person is in fear of losing their entire government contract, so they had been interviewed by the police before. Since then, today, I have taken two statements from two additional eyewitnesses, both of whom have given me statements, who are in even closer proximity to the incident. One of them indicated to me there was a group of about 15 Brazilian pastors or religious persons playing football on the National Service ground who observed the incident. Some of them tried to videotape it, and when they were seen videotaping it, one of the police officers turned around, pointed his weapon in their direction, and they scattered and hid. That witness is petrified about coming forward and going to the police now in the light of what the commissioner has said, and was petrified since this morning when I met with that person about going to the police because, as the witness says, they live in a poor neighborhood, they got young children, and they're not going to go because this is police investigating police. I also interviewed another witness who was at an adjoining ground which was even closer to the incident, and he gave an even more chilling story about the police actually putting a man into the back of the trunk of the car, going up the road, and then opening fire. He is also petrified about protection. I don't have the ability to offer them protection. But what I do want to say is that in the light of the police commissioner's statement publicly attempting to ridicule a witness and say he wasn't in the room, clearly indicates that he has already come to a conclusion on an investigation which is apparently not yet closed, but in his mind is, as is his mind, closed. So it's unlikely that the Guyana Police Force can really provide an independent investigation into this matter, and I am authorized on behalf of the family to say that they have absolutely no confidence in the Guyana Police Force in their ability to provide an independent investigation. I do want to say that in addition to that, I wrote to the Commissioner of Police very early this morning, copied it to the Minister of Public Security, expressing the fears of Mr. Light about coming into the police and about other developments. In addition to that, I spoke to both Mr. Williams and the Minister of Public Security today, expressing the grave fear of the two witnesses I interviewed today about going to the Guyana Police Force, particularly where the Guyana Police Force are investigating themselves. The minister suggested, I think it's the crime chief suggested we go to the Police Complaints Authority. I said to him that's exactly the same thing, and if you remember correctly, Mr. Kennard himself, before he retired, expressed grave reservations about the lack of resources that he had to conduct in the investigation. So when the Commissioner of Police this afternoon made the statements that he did make, which seems really to be directed at attacking the credibility of either Mr. Light or myself, I certainly don't have a difficulty with him attacking my credibility. But what it does do, it indicates that his mind is closed and he's of a firm opinion about what went down, and therefore all his efforts will be directed towards discrediting anything that contradicts what he believes. That is most unfortunate from the Guyana Police Force, but more importantly for the relatives of the family, it indicates that the police force is incapable of conducting an independent investigation. And in those circumstances, I think we will have to decide where we go from